once wrote that the Mississippi Delta begins here in the lobby of the Peabody Hotel and ends on Catfish Road down in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And that if you were to sit in this lobby long enough, you would see everybody who is anybody passing through the Delta. And that phrase, ladies and gentlemen, is as true today as it has ever been. The Peabody Hotel was established back in 1869. It's a couple blocks from here at Main and Monroe. In 1925, we expanded and relocated to here, 149 Union Avenue. But throughout all of our history, ladies and gentlemen, the Peabody has served as a social center for the city of Memphis. We have played host to countless weddings, proms, parties, and celebrations. Many of those hosted on the beautiful Peabody rooftop. We have a gorgeous view of downtown Memphis and the Mississippi River, as well as the Royal Duck Palace, the lavish livings of our fine feathered friends. If you would like to visit the rooftop of the Duck Palace, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to. Feel free to hop into the elevators after about 5:30 this afternoon. Touch F for Skyland and take a right out the double door. On the way back down, I encourage us to visit our memorabilia room. It's up here on the mezzanine, just above the gift shop, and there we have artifacts and stories unique to the Peabody's history. We have up there portraits of presidents and stars who have graced our halls over the years. We've played host proudly to every sitting U.S. president since Harry Truman here at this hotel. We have a very piece of Elvis Presley's original RCA contract, which was negotiated, typed, and signed here in this very lobby, on our stationery no less. But up there, ladies and gentlemen, we host my favorite artifact, a simple memo written by our general manager regarding the men's over at Shea Belief. It explained that we can have absolutely no duck served on any menu here at the hotel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are of course here now to witness the march of the Peabody Ducks. But if you haven't done so before, it may surprise you to learn that our whole tradition here got started with a bit of a practical journey. See, back in 1933, our general manager, Mr. Frank Scott, and his friendship were out hunting in Arkansas. They had brought with them, of course, some live duck decoys to help them hunt. But the gentleman also brought with them on this trip some Jack Daniels that helped them keep warm. Now, admittedly, they focused a bit more on the whiskey, never quite got around to hunting, and so were surprised when they returned to the hotel and found they had forgotten to leave their 3 English call ducks back at the farm. So they improvised by sneaking the ducks into the hotel lobby and letting them loose into our fountain instead. 13 young gentlemen retired to their rooms for the night, but when the general manager came down the next morning, all he was expecting to hear about were stories of the staff chasing ducks around the lobby, getting them out of the hotel, and covering up that prank from the night before. Instead, though, he found the ducks had stayed in the fountain the entire night long. And what's more, a crowd of guests had gathered around, and they were gawking at the ducks. And the general manager ran over and apologized. He said he would get this cleaned up right away. But the people protested and said, no, they love the ducks, and even suggested instead we should let them stay as our guests. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have continued to honor that request, for we have had ducks as permanent residents here at the hotel for over 80 years. But in 1940, we had a gentleman join us, a bellman, Mr. Edward Pembroke. Mr. Pembroke was a retired animal trainer for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. He told us that given the opportunity, he could train our North American mallards to march across the rooftop, ride down the elevator, and march down the red carpet into our lobby fountain every morning at 11 o'clock. There they would stay until 5 p.m. He would usher them out of the fountain, march them back up that red carpet, up the elevators, and back to their rooms. Mr. Pembroke proposed this management, and they were skeptical at first. They told him that if he could figure that out, they'd let him march ducks for as long as he'd like. Mr. Pembroke went on to train and march ducks from the Sears of Peabody for the next 50 years. He also took the ducks all across the country. They were on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. They were featured in People magazine. He and the ducks even made a very special guest appearance on Sesame Street for National Rubber Ducky Day. hotel, but especially for our ducks. And he was named the world's first duck. My name is Anthony, and actually only the 5th duck master since 1940. Whoop! Almost. Up, up. There you go. And soon, not now, it will be my honor to continue our tradition here for you. But first, on rare occasion, I have the honor and privilege of sharing the duties of duck master. Today is one of those days. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my honorary duck master, celebrating 15 years of marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Dempsey Roberts. Come on up there. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Congratulations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want us all to know what it means to be nominated as honorary duck master here at the hotel. It is an official station as official duty, and as such, it has an official proclamation. Very well, it's the daily mark for the world-famous Peabody Ducks in the time-honored tradition, begun in 1933 and attended by countless visitors and reps. The care and protection of Peabody Ducks must be done to do on a daily basis, and it will involve the persons of high standards and great distinction, and wherein you are such a person, be it resolved that on January 17, 2015, Mrs. Dempsey Roberts has been chosen honorary duck master. Thank you very much. Very nice. Now, in honor of their anniversary, we have commissioned for them their very own honorary duck master rubber ducky. Very nice. Very important. But no duck master can complete their duties without their very own honorary duck master's cage. There you are, your happy anniversary, guys. We'll leave that with the mister, but you'll note you'll need the cage. There we go. This is just how much we're going to use these symbols of office. We will usher the ducks out of the fountain, walk them up the red carpet, into the elevator, and back to their rooms. And we do have, if we are here at the main lobby, we do our best to remain seated during the march. We are here along the carpet and the entrance to the elevator to keep those areas clear. Please resist the urge to reach out and pet them. These are wild animals visiting with us after all. But finally, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, please take as many flash photos as you like. You are all guests with us here today at the Peabody, and this march is for you. On behalf of the ladies, gentlemen, and ducks here at the hotel, we thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and your attention, please. Welcome to the historic Peabody Hotel. At the center of the grand lobby, the point where the Mississippi Delta has been set in, stands the classic Peabody fountain, carved from one piece of Italian travertine marble. Although famous in its own right, the fountain is better known the world over because of its residents. If I may direct your attention to the fountain now, you will witness a tradition begun in the 1930s at the South Grand Hotel, an experience uniquely yours as a guest of the Peabody. Preparing to return to their penthouse on the plantation roof for the night, ladies and gentlemen, the march of the world-famous Peabody Ducks.